Claire is going to teach all of us how to make the perfect cookie, but first we have to start with all of the things we're doing wrong.
Yes, and I know that probably everyone's like, but I'd eat all those anyway, Claire. Those all still look fine to me. Yeah, I know. But what we're striving for here, Tracy, is perfection.
I hear ya.
And you know, sometimes you've got a great recipe, and it's your friend's exact recipe, and you follow it exactly, and you're like, oh, but why didn't it turn out right?
What went wrong?
I just want to show a couple of little teeny tiny variations that can make things go wrong.
Okay.
So this first row here, fine, but not enough flour. So we're going to talk about measuring flour correctly in a second.
Okay.
These guys, too much flour.
Oh, that's why they look like that.
They look bad, right?
I'd still eat them, but yeah.
I know, but they'd be the last ones you'd go to, right?
Right, absolutely.
Like the green wine gum that you eat last, or the black jelly bean. Okay, these ones here, your oven is too hot. See?
Yeah.
So you're getting crusty on the bottom.
Burnt
It's not cooking properly. These ones cook too long.
Oh, right.
Now, some people like a really crunchy cookie, and that's fine. You can go to deliberately too long. I like it just a little crunch with a nice soft middle.
Me too.
That's what I like.
I take it out a little early for that.
In fact, that is an excellent idea.
I like it chewy.
And then this one here was made with all white sugar.
Okay.
So which is fine. It's going to taste fine, but you see how it's pale?
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have that lovely sun-kissed look.
It needs a tan.
Perfect. Look at this.
Okay, so at the very end, you get the perfection.
Soft
enough,
absolutely
crunchy
stunning.
enough chocolate chips.
Yes.
It's all good.
It's oatmeal raisin, but
raisins,
the same goes for
a
whatever.
Girl can dream.
Now listen, okay, so measuring flour correctly. Just because you didn't have enough things to worry about in your life,
you must do it correctly
if
you want the perfect cookie.
So this is the weight. Now if you add too much flour or you add not enough flour, you see what's going to happen.
I see.
If you add the perfect amount. Okay.
Then it's going to be perfect.
Dry measuring cup,
yes.
Spoon, flour, and you spoon the flour into the cup. Now, maybe you've seen this 1,000 times, or maybe you haven't. I don't care. You're seeing it one more time. I have to say things 3 times before anybody hears me or believes me. I've overfilled it, and then I take my favorite lucky knife, and I just smooth it off like this.
Right.
Here's what I'm not going to do. Tap, 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 shake, shake, shake. You know, squish, squish, squish. Yeah,
Don't do that.
You will add a lot more flour in there, and then it's going to be tough and stodgy.
Yeah.
So that goes in, and then, you know, this is really such a wonderfully simple recipe. This is one of the reasons I love it so much.
Yeah.
We're going to use brown sugar.
Nice.
And 100% brown sugar.
Is it just because it's more moist, or it gives it that color?
Both.
Okay.
Well done. You've clearly been listening to this lecture.
Check, check.
One thing about brown sugar, it's always measured packed. Always measured packed. So you know, you'll often see the word packed in a recipe, but even if it's not there, it's always measured packed. It's just oh my goodness, I nearly put it in with the flour.
It's so packed that you can't get it out, or you didn't want it there. Whoops.
No, I didn't. So that's why I got a little reprieve there. Butter, brown sugar, and 1 egg.
Okay.
And then this just goes for a quick little. I love the way you're standing back. You're like, this shirt is too fabulous to get any butter, brown sugar, or
I got
egg on
spaghetti
it.
sauce on me yesterday. I'm trying to be smart today.
Not good, right? So this is the brainless part. Now a little bit of vanilla, of course, is always helpful.
Okay.
Salt. Salt, my friends.
Twist.
Again, I'm going to tell you 1,000 times, put salt in your baked goods.
Okay.
It is not only is it delicious,
it brings out the flavor.
it's also delicious.
It's delicious,
the same point twice.
and it's delicious.
It's delicious and it's delicious.
Okay.
We're going to make
Brings
these
out that
oatmeal
flavor.
raisins, so I'm going to put in some quick oats.
Yeah.
And now this is baking soda.
Right.
Man, I learned more about baking soda and baking powder in the last 3 weeks. It is complicated.
Really?
It's way more complicated than I knew.
Okay.
Just follow the recipe.
Use the right one.
Yeah, just
is what
use
you
the right
need
one.
to know.
They really make different. And it's not as if one makes things rise and another one doesn't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's complex, so read the recipe.
Crazy.
Yeah, just do it right.
So then that just gets dumped in, and now this point I like to switch to a spoon.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't want these cookies to get overmixed. I want them to be just right, not as undermixed as a waffle, say for example, if you were watching. But now you can switch to like a spatula and incorporate blah 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 blah.
Fold it all in.
Fold, make that nice and soft, and then dump in, I always say, whatever the recipe calls for, unless it's a chatelaine recipe, add half again as much, right? If it calls for a cup of chocolate chips, you want a cup and a half.
I agree.
You know that you do.
Yeah, go crazy.
Our chocolate chip recipe, 2 cups of chocolate chips.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
So in my house, that's 2.5 cups.
Well, then you have to account for the ones that you're going to eat while you're standing there, right?
That's true. That is a good point.
And that is absolutely what my kid thinks making cookies means eating chocolate chips out of the bag.
It kind of does.
When you go to bake them, I love a little lining of parchment paper.
Yeah.
So what this is going to do, parchment paper, compostable, reusable, heat resistant. This is not wax paper, right? This is parchment paper, and this means that I don't have to wash the pan, so tick. I can reuse this again and again, and so that's a tick as well. And also, it just, you can really see where the cookies go. So it just makes them really even.
Yeah, and they're going to come up really quickly. So you had a scale over there as well, and I'm wondering, is the scale, do you do that before you put them on the tray just to make sure?
Well, okay,
they're all the exact, are you weighing them to see if they gained weight? Like, what's happening?
Goodness, that's interesting. I like that. Well, no, but what we're doing actually at Chatelaine is we're starting to incorporate weights into our baking recipes.
Okay.
Because weights is, it's the professional way. It's a lot more accurate. Don't worry, we're still going to give you cup measures as well. But if you're interested in getting those really perfect results every time, run out, buy yourself a scale. They're about $10 to $15. Or you have this one from my Food Stylist kit, which is about 25 years old. Still good.
It
and
works.
then read along with the measurements, and you'll get a really perfect result every time.
Got it.
You don't have to measure flour the old-fashioned way.
Oh, good to know. cityline.ca for that recipe, the perfect cookie. It's break time. Stay with us. More coming up.